And we're live high in the skies of the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport here on WCEG TalkRadio.com, the Worldwide Community Empowerment Group on the People's Choice. And I'm your host, Joe Flint, all one word, like a tribe called Quest. It is my pleasure to be with you this evening. It's been quite some time since last we talked, but I'm so happy to be with you here on WCEG TalkRadio.com. And I'm even more excited because I have a beautiful young lady in the studio with me today who's going to share with us some information concerning a hot race in Atlanta, one that has seemed to bring quite a few people out of nowhere. It never fails to surprise me, who is always lurking in the background when a position comes available in the city of Atlanta or in the city hall itself. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the wife of one of Atlanta's most beloved city council members, Ivory Young. I have Mrs. Shalise Young in the studio with me this evening. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you so very much for being with us. We're so happy to see you and your wonderful smile here at WCEG TalkRadio.com. I'm just going to get right into it. I know that we could spend countless hours really talking about Ivory's work and all of his dedication and his sweat and tears, if you will, that he loaned to the city of Atlanta during his tenure as councilman in Council District 3. But now we have an opportunity to continue his legacy and continue the work that he had set forth. And I believe that will continue through the young lady that's sitting across from me today. So, Shalise, if you will, please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, yes. And first of all, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
My name is Shalise Steele Young. Mm-hmm. I am a candidate for Atlanta City Council District 3. Mm-hmm. I am the wife of the late council member Ivory Lee Young Jr. Mm-hmm. I am excited about the race.
Yes.
The opportunity to show the citizens of Atlanta, the residents, mm-hmm. and the stakeholders that all is not lost, that his spirit very much lives.
Yes.
The work very much continues.
Yes.
And we have a responsibility to see to it that the upward momentum that he was able to begin alongside the residents and stakeholders, mm-hmm. that continues in a very meaningful and effective way.
We are now living in a different place and stage in our history. I can remember a time where, when or if a elected official would pass or whatever the reason would be that they're no longer serving, their wives or their husbands, if the wife served, would just retreat to retirement and just live out the rest of their days, maybe doing some community service work, maybe founding a foundation or so on and so forth. But we live now at a time where I see more spouses stepping up to the plate to continue the legacy of their spouse, whether it be their husband or wife. I see that in Debbie Dingle, who is now serving on behalf of her husband, John Dingle, God rest his soul, who just recently passed. And now we have in our own great city of Atlanta, Shalise Young, who is stepping up to the plate to continue that legacy. As the wife of a council member, there's no question that you've seen a lot of the struggle, a lot of the headaches, a lot of the late nights, a lot of the early mornings that it took for him to pursue and to carry out the job. And you want to go into that same beat?
I'm actually not going into it. I'm already in it.
You're in it. That's right.
We lived that together.
Yes.
We lived that together. And so it would just be a continuation.
Yes.
There really there's been a little break. I've allowed myself to grieve. I've allowed myself to rest. I can't tell you I'm not grieving. That wouldn't be true.
Absolutely.
But Ivory and I met around service. That's how we met.
Great.
Serving. And it's in our blood. We eat, sleep and breathe it. It's a calling.
Yes.
So it doesn't. So me retreating somewhere, it would be, I would be out of my element. Mm-hmm. My element is serving.
There was a famous quote by a general by the name of General Oliver Smith, who said, "Retreat hell, we're just attacking from a different direction."
I like that.
And that's exactly what is happening now. And I can see that. I can see the joy in your face in being able to continue that legacy, but bringing your own spin to what you see and what you would like to see of City Council District 3. So tell us a little about your platform and what it is that you want to convey to the message to the citizens of Atlanta.
First, before I get into my platform, I love the citizens to understand why.
Please.
When we talk about service, we need a person with a servant's heart.
Absolutely.
That really is there for the residents and stakeholders. It's not some political, ladder climbing exercise.
Absolutely.
It's
we see it too
real.
often.
Yes, it's real service. So look for a leader that is compassionate and concerned.
Yes.
And committed. You won't elect me to a post and I'll see something more attractive and decide I'm going to just abandon that post and go over to something else.
Yes.
We're committed. And I think that my effort right now since Ivory has passed has shown the level of commitment from his household, from his family, that we are servant leaders.
Absolutely.
And that is from our household, his immediate household, as well as his biological family, his siblings, his dad. They serve. We serve.
Yes.
And so my platform is workforce housing. We use the term affordable housing.
Yes, of course.
And that is sort of starting to get under my skin, and I've definitely heard others, because what is affordable housing? So I'll get into that, but I'm going to give you the 4.
Please.
So public safety, that's the other one.
Yes.
And clean communities, and equitable resident participation.
Okay.
So we can talk a little bit about what that is.
Yes,
so,
please.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Let's start with public safety. So we want to feel safe. I don't know a human being that doesn't want to feel safe where they live.
Absolutely.
And it's very important that our police officers, that, one, we can attract from all over officers here to Atlanta that would want to serve with a package that has enough incentives built in which they would feel very comfortable in serving and bringing their families here. 2, we need to retain the officers that we have.
I agree.
A lot of them have been, leaving and going to other cities where they do have those incentives built in. So retaining our officers.
And we have a call. You're that popular already.
Oh, well, okay.